Here's the culprit right here, coming from the cylinder head, out the exhaust valve. So on a big block Chevy, you have a guide that presses in for the valve to run in. It goes right through the water passage. So you have your valve, you have your cylinder head, you have a water passage, you have the top of the cylinder head where the valve spring is. That intersects the coolant passage to cool the exhaust valve. Very good idea. When you replace the guides on a big block Chevy, you have to pressure test the cylinder head to make sure you have no leakage. That was not done here. The water went in through there, destroyed the cylinder wall with rust. Yeah, so our job just got a good bit better. That's too bad, because so far, like, it's just that and the rocker studs. Aside from that, looks like a very nice build, but only takes one thing, right? Well, let's get the other head off, see what it's like, and then we'll take it, we'll get it on a stand, we'll tip it over, and we'll see what the bottom end's like. Quite a few times. Oh, no, not another one. Ay, ay, ay. So that would be that one there. Well, we got the top end apart. We're going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to come back, mount it on a stand, turn it over, and we'll start on the bottom end. This turned out to be a very good example for taking engines apart. Why you just don't take things apart. You got to you inspect everything, you look at everything. We found out, sorry, excuse me, the rocker arm studs were too short. Sounds kind of like a minor issue. It's not. It's a major issue. He would have been up a river, 4,000 RPM. He would have sheared the top of them studs off. His engine would have went dead. Who knows what kind of predicament the poor guy would have been in. Then we discovered a few of the rocker arms. The needle bearing and the fulcrum point had piled up on a few of them, stiff as could be. That would also contribute to breaking your rocker arm stud. So having said, oh, and then we checked the rocker arm geometry also. We wanted to make sure that the reason the studs, maybe the studs weren't too short, maybe the rocker arms weren't going down far enough because the push rods were too long. As it turned out, the push rod geometry is dead on the money. That was not the problem. It was not a push rod problem or an angle problem with these or anything like that. One of the other things you got to check on these is you have to make sure that in here, that this does not make contact with the vigor valve spring retainer. It will knock them off and your valve will fall out, your engine will be junk. So from there, we pulled the cylinder heads off, and we found, there's pictures we'll post there, that we had water in some of the cylinder walls, which is a real shame because, I mean, the thing was a very nice build. It has, it has higher end pistons in it. I'm assuming they're like a nice hypertectic or something. So what happened there, one on each cylinder head, and in no way are they related. They're in random places. There's no way they could be related. The valve guides were leaking coolant. The exhaust guides on a big block Chevy go right through the water passage. It seals on the top of the guide, seals on the bottom of the guide. The valve runs up and down throughout it. When you replace them, obviously you have to make sure there's no little burrs or anything in the bore. The valve guide can go in upside down. It has to go in a proper way. Early ones and late ones go in opposite directions. They're about 15 or 20 thou bigger on one end than the other. If you force them through, you can damage the head and the other end's not going to leak. After you press them in, you have to pressure test that head to make sure you have no leakage, to make sure that that press fit guide is not going to leak. On these, 2 of the exhausts leaked. So that's kind of bad. Not kind of bad, that's terribly bad. So we're going to put it on a stand now. We're going to tip it over and we'll resume this. So I'm into this teardown now for 2 hours. Okay, so if you pull your engine apart and you throw everything in a bucket and half an hour later you think you're done, you haven't done it right. It takes time. It's every bit as important as how you put the thing together. You miss some of this stuff when you're taking it apart, your engine's going to fail no different than if you forgot to tighten a bolt up in the thing. So, yeah, it takes time. Don't sweat it. If you're into the thing for 4 hours, it's your first engine, that's good. That's the way it should be. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back and we're going to do the bottom end.